WXII 12 News at 7 on the Triad CW starts now.
We're standing up not just for our profession, but also for the children and all the students in North Carolina.
And schools are closed and teachers are about to hit the road. 15,000 of them are ready to meet lawmakers face to face. They're bringing leaders a list of complaints and their solutions. Good Wednesday morning to you, live from Raleigh. I'm Devontae McKenneth. Team coverage from the Triad all the way to the state capitol, marking a big moment in North Carolina history. This is set to be the biggest state capitol rally in recent memory. In fact, this morning you will hear from some of those teachers as well as the lawmakers and leaders they plan to reach out to. First, let's send things indoors to Brianna Connor and Kimberly Van Scoy.
Good morning, Devontae. Thank you for that. We've got a lot to get to in Raleigh this morning.
We really do. And the other thing that we're facing this week is rain, and a lot of it, Brian.
Yeah, we're just getting started with this. Started late yesterday for much of the area, western counties and across the southern areas too. But we're getting a little extra lift from the high country, from a front that's draped across West Virginia and Virginia, and that's really focusing these good bands of rains over the area. It is a little more gapped in southernmost areas, but we've seen some rain now steadily moving out of I-40 and moving north of it now, getting close to Highway 601, Mocksville, Lexington. Some good rains for you, lifting toward North Wilkesboro, Yadkinville, and now into southern portions of Forsyth County, Louisville. Clemens seeing some rain, High Point, Thomasville getting it too, and again lifts to the north where we had some steady showers overnight. We're seeing more gaps in that rain. Temps, as you're getting out the door, kind of muggy 60s. We'll be here for a while before inching into the 70s this afternoon. I've still got a high of 81, mainly because of the south wind, but we're going to need some breaks in the rain to get us there. If not, we're in the 70s and feeling fairly comfortable. Don't forget the umbrella today or for the next several days. Just have it with you at all times. We have some good rains in the forecast. We'll have more on that coming up.
And we are live in Raleigh this morning, and teachers are taking part in today's rally say this is just the very beginning of what will hopefully become a big change for them. The North Carolina Association of Educators put all of this together. In fact, teachers hope lawmakers consider them while voting on adjustments to the state budget this session. They are calling for better pay across the board, and they want more government spending per student. Teachers are also asking for more school nurses, counselors, and support staff. They believe part of that solution is decreasing corporate tax breaks. And as you can imagine, teachers will be packed and busy today at the state capitol. Margaret Johnson is live also in Raleigh this morning, and she continues our team coverage. Margot?
Well, good morning to you. Well, those busloads of educators should start arriving here at the very latest about 9:45 this morning. And then at 10 o'clock, they will leave this location for a March for Students. They will head straight to the legislative building where policy is made. It is expected to take about 25 minutes to make that walk. And then by 10:45, they'll be on the third floor in the gallery when the General Assembly convenes at noon. And by 1 o'clock, those educators plan to schedule appointments with lawmakers so they can have some face-to-face time to make their case. And by 3 o'clock, they will gather at Bicentennial Plaza, which is across the street from the legislative building, so they can be ready for that rally at 3:30. I am here with Christy Moore. She is the vice president of the North Carolina Association of Educators, and she's here with her 5-year-old daughter. Daughter's here to support mom. She's wearing her red shirt saying North Carolina, and it says I deserves better. And on the back of the shirt, let's see what that says. It says, respect my future, respect my teacher. Is personal, and it's personal for her because it's her mom. And mom, what do you have to say about what your daughter is getting in school that you're concerned about today?
Yes, we want to make sure that all students, especially of course all of our students in rural areas, are having textbooks that they need. So we don't have any textbooks in our classroom. They're very old. The ones that we do have, and there's not a full set of them, so they cannot go home with their students. And so we need to make sure that they have those things so parents can help them. Also technology. We are trying to teach our children 21st century skills without the technology to do so. Paper, pencil, simple staples that our teachers are having to buy because it's just not there. Our infrastructures are falling down in some of our schools as well. We need to make sure that North Carolina is doing better by their students.
As you know, many school districts across the state closed today so educators could come here for this rally. And this morning you all are under criticism saying that you're playing politics with your children.
That is far far from the truth. What we're doing is bringing awareness to what our students need. Parents know what their children need in the classroom. The school boards know that they're not getting the resources that they need, hence the reason they decided to close. This was a local decision for every district that decided to close. That was their choice because they know how important it is to make sure every student has what they need in the classroom.
Just how much do you really expect to gain today in terms of kicking the can down the road?
Right. Well, it's just the beginning. We have a 6-month plan where we're going to make sure that everyone is aware of who in the legislature are making decisions that are pro-public education. And if they're not, we're going to try to get people in there that are for our students here in North Carolina.
All right, so you know the numbers out there say 15,000 or more expected today. Is that what you're expecting, or perhaps more?
Perhaps more. We have people coming from all over the state. We have at least 60 buses that we know of are coming packed full of teachers and community leaders and parents and students. So that's just to top it off. So we actually could have more than that.
All right, good deal. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Again, those teachers and educators from across the state are expected to march to the legislative building at 10 o'clock this morning. And of course, we will be here all along the way for everything. Live in Raleigh, Margaret Johnson, WXII 12 News.
Margaret, thank you for that live report. Let's send things over to Mallory Lane now, as the Triad's biggest school districts are closed today, and a group of teachers actually just caught a bus from Winston-Salem and will be making their way here to the Capitol. Mallory, good morning to you.
Good morning, Devontae. We are moving and grooving on the bus this morning. We are riding with a group of educators down to Raleigh for this rally today. Sorry if we're moving a little bit. The bus is moving. There are 3 charter buses full of educators. They are packed tight today, and they are heading for this rally today. About a third of North Carolina public school students are not in class today because of this rally. Schools were canceled, and that includes most of the major districts in our area: Winston-Salem, Forsyth County, Guilford County, and Alamance Burlington. I have with me here an educator. This is Jeff Shue. He teaches middle school. Jeff, why are you personally heading to Raleigh today?
Well, I'm just tired of being played in the game. I mean, this legislature for years gives one thing and takes 3 things away. We were dealing with class size chaos last year, and then in the 11th hour they come in and say, oh, we fixed this, and then they break 2 or 3 more things. I'm looking at possibly 35 kid classes next year in middle school. That's just too much.
You have your daughter with you here today. She's in college. Why do you feel it's important for her to be experiencing this today?
Well, she's known since she was a wee one that it's really important to be involved. I couldn't be more proud of being an educator today and to have my daughter along with me, changing the state for the better.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. Again, we are on our way to Raleigh, left probably about 20 minutes ago, so we should be getting into town in just a little bit here. Devontae, we'll send it back to you.
All right, safe travels to you, Mallory. We'll see you soon. In the meantime, Governor Roy Cooper is asking lawmakers to bump the plan average raise from 6% to 8%. He wants to account for veteran teachers who he feels have been left behind. Cooper's budget proposal pays for the raise by targeting planned income tax cuts for the middle class. He also wants to freeze new tax breaks for corporations and people who make more than $200,000 a year. And some Republican state leaders say today's rally is nothing more than a political move. In fact, GOP leaders are pushing ahead with that planned 6% average raise this year. That's about $4,000. House Speaker Tim Moore says North Carolina teachers have seen and will continue to see considerable raises. Republicans also point to bonus programs that increase pay. The party shared strong words at a news conference held just last night.
My concern is that if the parents don't stand up and reject their children being used as political pawns in the Democrat Party's effort to elect Democrats this fall, they will forever be used as pawns.
And there are parents who disagree with that message you just heard. In fact, some of them say they are bringing their children to the rally scheduled for today. Monique Parse is one of those parents, and she says her daughter is a 5th grader in Winston-Salem. She says lawmakers need to take these teachers very seriously. She wants to stand side by side with them.
Her teachers are the one that's educating her, and her teachers are providing the foundation that she needs to have in order to be a successful adult in life. And I want her to have that respect and to remember that when she goes to school on Thursday.
Park's daughter says she wants to help teachers get what they deserve. Our coverage continues all morning long and right here in Raleigh. Coming up in the next half hour, hear what some teachers are spending out of their very own pockets for their classrooms. We'll also share updates on the free WXII 12 News mobile app and also our Facebook page. You will be able to watch that rally live as it begins later this afternoon. That's it for now in the state capitol. Let's send things back to Kimberly and Brianna.
All right, thank you so much, Devontae. We will check back with you later. Well, the rain is starting to come.
It is. It's favoring our area as opposed to Raleigh.
That's
for
good.
the moment,
That's
for
good.
the moment, we'll see. They're going to have to deal with it at some point today, with the showers, perhaps a few thunderstorms coming in from the south. But yeah, we need it to help wash the pollen away a little bit, so that will help too.
Yes.
Help me tremendously.
Yes.
Going forward. Let's take a look at your forecast headlines for today. Muggy and warm, 70s and 80s possible today. For the 80s, we need to get at least some gaps in the rain. We haven't seen too much of that, but it's occasional rain, including a few afternoon storms. And by the end of the week, 2 to 4 inches of rain are expected to have fallen at that point. That could make the ground wet enough and streams and creeks running high enough that we might have some flash flooding or flooding concerns going forward. We're not there yet. You can see most of the rain arcing from southwest to northeast through the mountains and across the border counties primarily. Some heavier gaps are buckets of rain coming down, moving into I-40 and Highway 421. Mountains have seen steady light showers, now getting a little heavier in the last hour from Boone up toward Galax and Hillsville. Rain is now overspreading Wilkes County. You've seen some gaps during the early morning, but a good pocket of rain now. Moravian Falls lifting north into Wilkesboro, Elkin and Booneville. Trap Hill going to catch some rain out of this into Highway 601, I-77, and across Yadkin County into western Forsyth County. Going to rain pretty hard soon in Tobaccoville, Bethania, Louisville, and Clemens too. It extends into Guilford County, where High Point just had a pretty good shower. It's now raining in Jamestown as a result of that pulling through the area. Temps barely moved since very early this morning. Lower 60s out west, mid to upper 60s, and even near 70 from Greensboro, Asheboro to Burlington this morning. Temperatures in the 70s for most of today. Still in the 70s at noon. Could just squeeze out an 80-degree reading today. We'll see if we get there or not. I assume that we'll have enough breaks in the rain that we should warm a little bit today, getting up there too. Foothills a high of 77. Excellent rain chances off and on all day. High temperatures in the lower 70s in many of our mountain locations through the afternoon. 7-day forecast keeps us right where we are. Best rain chances through Friday and Saturday. They start to drop off a little bit next week. Highs in the lower 80s into next week.